Hello everybody, Calamity here, and welcome to day 3 of Realm of the Tempered Valor. Are we still hanging in there? Looks like a lot of you guys have crashed out hard on this event. But before we even begin, usually this is the part where I will take a team and like clear out this chamber, but I'm actually not going to because the only way I was able to do so was with everyone's favorite Natlan team, which is just me using Mauvika, where's Solali, and Bennett. So this team is what I had to use despite what the buff says. And in fact, you know, a lot of y'all were hating the Natlan buffs and I was hating the Vaporize slash Melt buffs for a different reason. But now we're at SWIRL, and this one is awful for me. And I think for most of y'all in general, because on paper it sounds like a lot, right? You get 1200% increased damage of Swirl, and then when you trigger it, you get an additional 120% increase in damage and an elemental mastery increase of 400 for 6 seconds. Now, this would be cool if this was a team-wide buff, because then characters like Kazuha would provide even more for their team, and we can do some like aggravate stuff or spread with, you know, Alhaitham, Quick Bloom or something like that. You know, just swap in a real quick animal character and swirl. But it's only the person that's swirled. That's it. That's a terrible, terrible buff for a lot of teams. I don't even know how well this works for any Wanderer mains out there. I don't even think does this help Zhao in any way? I don't play those characters. I don't have any Animo main DPS characters. So all of mine are either healers or like sub DPS supports like Kazuha, Sucrose, Lanyan, Venti, etc., etc. And I don't have a C6 Kaza. So the reason I'm not doing the combat for today's event is because I don't think you guys want to see me do donuts with Mauvika again for the second time now. Just spinning around and clearing everything. So yeah, this one was awful. I basically did not have a buff to work with this time around. So for none of my teams were able to clear it fast enough. And that's, again, it does suck, you know, not being able to beat it with any other team other than the Natlan one. But because I got to floor 22 on a previous, on the previous section, I had 2 floors to spare. So I technically could have just made it up to like floor 18. And I was able to do that with a free-to-play team. You might have noticed it at first before I swapped in the Mauvika team. But I had just your basic Zhonling, Bennett, Kazuha, like Rosaria, and this team was able to make it to like floor 17, 18, and that's honestly fine. That's good enough because I had extra floors elsewhere to compensate. So I've also been reading a lot of the comments on the first video and a little bit on the second one as well. And yeah, like I said, I understand a lot of people are going to be upset and angry at Hoyoverse for making such a difficult event. I understand the frustration, but I do think some of you guys are being a little dramatic with some of your comments. Like I read one that said that the fact that the name card is gated behind 100 floors cleared for the event is beyond scummy. And to be honest, that comment kind of made me laugh because if you think that's beyond scummy, there's a lot way worse they could have done to be beyond scummy. Instead of being like a cheap cosmetic, excuse me, reward, it's a name card, right? It doesn't do anything for you gameplay wise. It's a cute little picture you can display on your profile. And to be honest, I didn't even remember name cards existed until this event. Yeah, it's just for a cosmetic. If that's upsetting you, I would really reconsider why you play this game, because as a gacha game, unless you're dishing out money, you're missing out on a lot more than just fancy name cards. Like you're not able to pull every 5-star character, you're not able to pull every 5-star weapon. There's teapot decorations you can't ever see because they're gated behind buying them in the battle pass. There's like all this stuff that's gated behind money. I don't see y'all complaining about those. Like some of the best 4-star weapons are in the battle pass, like the Serpent Spine. But anyways, talking about being beyond scummy, if Hoyoverse wanted to, They could have easily put a really good reward for the 100 floor clear, or even make it worse. Instead of 100, make it so that we had to clear all 25 floors for each section. That way there's no leeway in between each part. Half the full clear or GG. They also could have swapped the rewards around. So instead of, hey, you only have to get to floor 9 to get all the gems in this event. Well, what if they swapped it and they made it so you have to at least get 20 to get all the gems for this event? That would be beyond scummy. They could have put valuable rewards in the, instead of a name card, they could have put, imagine they put a free 10 pull for players that make it up to, you know, the 100 floors or whatever. They put only the gem rewards for people that made it to 100 floor plus. That would be scummy. And, you know, whatever complaints you have about this event right now and thinking this is like the worst of the worst, I guarantee you Hoyoverse could make this 100,000 times worse for all of us if they really wanted to. Like, it's not bad. Yes, it does suck. You're missing a name card. It's the first one in whatever years. Okay, so what? It's a name card at the end of the day. You're still getting, you can still get all the gems and stuff. And even the other rewards for getting to floor 20 are not worth it. Wow, a couple Mora and very small amount of EXP books and ores. I'm really pulling ahead of you guys by completing the level floor 20 for each part of this event, right? Not really. Combat events in Genshin have always been hard, to be fair. But I would say this is probably the first time they've gated any sort of rewards behind having to get the platinum medal, because before, platinum medal used to be just like a show-off thing, like, hey, I got the platinum medal, but there was like no rewards behind it. So before, I would honestly just get gold, and that was it. That was all the rewards, that was it, and I didn't ever try bothering for the platinum medal. I remember someone was trying to give me a hard time for not doing so in previous combat events. They're like, oh, this YouTuber doesn't even get the platinum medals, they must not be good. I was like, sure. I don't care to get them. I just care about getting the rewards. And I know it's weird coming from me because a lot of you guys are going to say like, well, of course you don't care. You have your Natlan team and you can just clear it and get to floor 20 easily. Even if I didn't have this team and the best I could do was floor like 17, 18 or whatever, with what I had, I'd honestly be okay with that. Like, I would still just get my gems then and just dip. Like, I'm not someone that hunts every name card, achievement, whatever collectible in this game. Like, it's a gacha game. I've played tons of gacha games in the past, so I'm okay with FOMO, and I don't really care if I miss out on cosmetics or whatever. Like, it's not a big deal to me. But maybe this is a lot of people's first Genshin or first gacha game. This is just how it is, and it's just how it's gonna be. So I don't know, I'm just kind of used to it, I guess. But that's gonna be it for me for part 3 of this event. Again, I'm not gonna do a combat showcase because it's just me doing donuts with Mauvika. This is the free-to-play team-ish team that I used to get to floor 17, 18. Again, the swirl buff here does not do a lot for you because it's only gonna affect the person swirling, and that in this team it's Kazuha. Even with the 1200% damage increase to swirl, I saw the numbers, they weren't that impressive. So let me know what teams you guys used, if you guys were able to get to floor 20 easily. I'm kind of curious which DPS characters were worth it. Like, was Chaska really, did Chaska make this a really walk in the park? Was Xiao good? Was Wanderer good? Etc, etc. I'll make another video for the next part, and I'll definitely try to do a combat showcase. Granted that the buff we get is something useful, but we'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. Just did a little short rant today. See you guys in the next one.